So we looked at a simple product like cup, but also found out how detailed thinking goes in terms of making that kind of a product. And it's still a simple cup. Now let's push it further. We want to now understand what are the needs of people which are still not satisfied by the given cups, and therefore we need to modify this product to suit their needs. In order to get this information about what user needs, and remember we said that if you want to design a product, most important is to identify the needs so that we can satisfy those needs. And if we don't satisfy those needs, people won't use our product. So it is imperative that we should identify what their needs are. So in order to understand what their needs are, the best way is to use an empathy map. We all have seen empathy map, and how powerful that tool is in terms of getting exactly what user wants, and then we can culminate insights out of that empathy map. So what we are going to do now is to design a cup for teenagers, and therefore we need to understand teenagers between, let's say, age group of 16 17 to 25. What are their problems, what do they face in a normal cup, and therefore they need a modification in the product. So let's go and understand how this empathy map works for teenagers. Okay, so let's, in the four quadrant, which what they see, what they hear, what they think, and what they do and what they feel. Let's identify what exactly we get out of them. So when we did this empathy map on multiple teenagers, let's summarize the finding. For example, they want to know how to keep this coffee cups constantly warm. Once you take a coffee, then it gets cold as you drink. So how do you constantly keep that warm? How should you hold the hot cup? Because it becomes very difficult. It becomes very difficult to travel with the hot cup as well. So that's another problem that they face. They don't know how much coffee is left inside. So every time you have to peep inside the cup and find out how much coffee has been left. Then the glass cups often break. So that's another problem that they face, and don't realize what is the leftover coffee. So invariably they get up to throw, and then they realize, oh, there is still coffee left behind. So this is all what we have got from the teenagers. Let's look at what do they do. They keep checking, therefore, how much quantity is left all the time. That's may not be more painful, but continuously you have to look at it. Keep touching the cup to find out how much hot, how much warm it is, and also hold it with a cloth. If it's very hot, then typically we see people holding cup with a paper napkin, or some kind of a napkin, is what we do. And also keep warming it in the microwave. So if you have a habit of drinking coffee or tea, or for a longer period of time, you end up heating that twice in the microwave, or get it heated somewhere on the gas. Okay, so let's also understand what do they think about it. How can I know that whether the coffee is hot or not without even touching that, without seeing that? What can I know exact temperature of the coffee? I mean, we typically say it's hot, it's warm, but we don't know it's whether it is 89 degrees, whether it is 100 degrees. But does it require to be known? I mean, that's what has come out. Easy to know what's and how much is there. I mean, they want that to be easy, and can't can coffee drinking be a fun rather than just a boring kind of a cup? Can they have a cup which is more fun? And what they feel painful to get up continuously for heating. They get boring to see some of the white cups all the time. They're very anxious while touching the cup, whether they'll get burn, or something like that, and they're scared while traveling with a hot cup. So now look at the kind of information that we have got when we spoke to teenagers. That's why I keep saying that empathy map is a very, very powerful tool to find out exactly what the user is. And user here is not talking about what they need. User is just expressing, and basis those expressions, we as entrepreneurs or designer of the product have to really cull out what exactly it talks about. Okay, and to be very honest, you can actually build empathy maps on anything and everything just by talking to users and getting more and more information. So that's how powerful the tool is. Okay, let's move ahead. Now, basis this empathy map, let's find out what did we learn about the user. And to my mind, we have learned these 5 things. So number one insight that we have got is users should know the quantity which is remaining. At any point of time, I should know how much is the coffee remaining 30%, 40%, whatever is the coffee. That's one. Second is the user should know the temperature of the coffee, how much hot it is, and if possible, can somebody give me exact temperature. Third is user should know be comfortable traveling with the coffee. They don't feel that they'll break the cup or it will spill over and stuff like that. They want to be uh, free from this kind of fears. And user should also be able to maintain the temperature of the coffee. And the last one is, can the coffee be constantly heated? I mean, if that's there, then they don't have to get up all the time and they can drink the coffee for whatever period of time that they want to drink. So if you look at these 5 different insights from the entire empathy map, look at the kind of narrowing down we have done in terms of understanding the problem. Now here we are clearly understood what exactly user want. This makes us relatively better off to define solutions, and this is what we can now do. So for example, if I have to now go back to my science knowledge and technology, and we'll come to technology little later, but pure science knowledge if I have to get into, let me start building what all possibilities of solutions that I can provide to the teenager. For example, users should know the quantity. Simple. Can I make the entire outer wall transparent? And there are many are more transparent glasses or transparent cups available so that I can clearly see. Not only that, the material that I use, I go back to chemistry, the material that I use can be toughened and can be bad conductor of heat, so that the heat from the outside is not you can't feel too much of it. So that's something which we can do. Let's look at if the problem is number 2, which is user should know the temperature. Then I don't know whether you have seen this kind of a cup, but as you pour hot water or a tea or a coffee inside, the cup starts changing the color. If you see here, the black color keeps becoming blue, and then ultimately it becomes blue. Even the face expression has gone from a normal expressions to a smiley. So the user feels that it's fun to drink the coffee, and as the coffee reduces, the cup starts becoming again black. So because of the heat, because of the temperature, the color changes. It's fun. At the same time, I exactly know how much coffee is also left, and I also know how much hot it is. I mean, I may not know the exact temperature, but I may know which portion is hot and which portion of the cup is cold. So look at basis, the learning from the empathy map, how beautifully the product can be molded. Look at another example of solving the temperature problem. Here they have used a metaphor of a battery cell, and as the coffee goes down and the heat goes down, the the color of the cell will go to red and stuff like that. Look at also the third example, how it can be done. So I'm just giving you example how in a fun expression we can actually show that. Here, if till the time it is hot, it shows red, and as the quantity and goes down, and obviously the temperature goes down, the redness will keep on going down. So this is what helps us to solve problem of the user. It now they are able to understand the temperature, they are able to understand the quantity and stuff like that. Let's look at people who are finding it difficult to travel. I mean, most of the coffee shops, if you go, they don't use glass cups. They will actually give you a paper cup. And interestingly, look at in the picture how they would actually give a handle to the cup also. So it's completely made up of the cardboard, and so that you actually don't end up holding it hot, and easily you can carry it, so you don't have to worry about it. Also, these are more of use and throw, so you can just use it and throw it, and that actually solves the problem when you are traveling. Let's look at some of the needs of maintaining the temperature. We only looked at knowing the temperature and knowing the quantity. Now let's look at how we can maintain the temperature. Here is one cup example, and it's commercialized. It's available in some markets in Western countries, where it's a vacuum based cup. So there's a vacuum, and therefore somewhere thermos flask principles are used, where the cup remains, the liquid inside the cup remains hotter, and you don't have to worry about it, and it can remain hot for a considerable period of time. So whatever is done is in a thermos can be actually done in a cup. Simple use of science, but it is actually now helping us to satisfy the needs of people. Let's look at uh, some of the requirements of how it can be continuously heated, so that we don't have to get up all the time. And there is a product where you can actually have a electric heater, and you can actually keep the cup and it's continuously heated from the bottom. You can also control that, so whenever you want that to be heated, you can put it on or put off and stuff like that. And a sophisticated version of that can be seen here, whereas this cup is a heatable cup, so you can actually put it and heat it, and once it is heated, you can actually see the light can be displayed out there. On the black mug, somewhere you see the temperature mentioned 135, so it can actually get into a as precise as knowing the temperature of the liquid inside. So that's granular. That is the granularity we can go if we know what user wants. Isn't it funny? Okay, so to summarize this entire thing, user insights drive the product features. It's not our innovation, it's about what user wants, and applying our innovations on what user wants help us to build the better product. So understanding what user wants help us to build a product which is more acceptable to the user. And now what we are going to do in the subsequent video, we are going to use even advanced technology in terms of improvising the use of the product and make it more user friendly. So stay tuned.